Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to all the students of grade 6. We are ready to start lesson number 2 from chapter number 1, Evolution of Computers. The learning objectives are to describe calculating devices and to explain the history of computers, which include first, second, third, fourth and fifth generation computers. So let's start with the warm-up activity. Write the names and any two functions of the following diagrams. Now, what is this part of computer called? The answer will be here. Now, this part of the computer is called CPU, Central Processing Unit. What are the functions of the CPU? Number one, it processes the data and it controls all the operations of the computer. The second device is monitor, and what are its functions? It displays video and pictures, and it also displays the documents. Now we are starting history of computers. Now, what were the earliest computers? Long time ago there were no machines invented for calculations, so the people themselves were like computers, means they were doing all the calculations, and their job title was also a computer, and the people, the human being themselves, they were doing the calculations and they were not using the machines. Now this process was very time consuming and it required a lot of training in mathematics, so a normal person would not be able to perform these tough calculations. Then in 500 BC the first computing machine was invented and its name was abacus. So it was the first computing machine which was used in business sectors and for the calculation of money. And this abacus did not have any monitors or memory. It looked like this. You can see in the picture there are beads. These black ones are beads, and then it has rods, so for calculating, and it is a frame. This is the structure of the abacus. Now the calculation was done using these beads and these rods. In 1642 there was a scientist with the name of Blaise Pascal. He invented a machine which looked like this, and the name of that machine was Pascaline, and this machine was mainly used for addition and subtraction. The disadvantage of this machine was that you cannot perform multiplication or division using this machine. After that, Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz invented stepped reckoner. It was more advanced than Pascaline because it was used for addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Now, first generation of computer, as you can see in the picture, they are very big, they are very large. They required a space like a big room, and they needed too much electricity. So they were very large computers and took very huge space. Vacuum tubes were used as circuits, and magnetic drum was used for the memory. Now vacuum tubes work like circuits, and which helps in the transfer of the electricity, and magnetic drum was used for saving the files. And these kind of computers belonging from the first generation needed too much electricity, and they would produce too much heat as well, and they were very expensive. In second generation of computer, the size of the computer became a little bit smaller because in place of cathode ray tubes, transistors were used. Transistors are also electric devices which are used for the transfer of electricity. So transistors were used, as well as magnetic core was used as memory. so they were smaller in size, but they also used a lot of electricity, and when they were operating, they would generate too much heat. And one main advantage of the second generation of computer was that they were faster and also smaller than the first generation of computers. Third generation of computer. In the third generation of computer, integrated circuits were used. You can see the integrated circuits, the size become very small. Now these integrated circuits were used for the transfer of electricity and its circuitry. And also these computers were general purpose computers, means they were used in commercial purposes, in businesses like these kind of places. Their size become very small, and they need very little electricity, and they were also cheaper than the second generation of the computers. Fourth generation of computer. In fourth generation of computers, integrated circuits were replaced by the microprocessors. You can see this, microprocessors. Now microprocessor works as a circuitry in the fourth generation of computer, which performs all the functions of the computer, and they become very small in size, faster, and also more reliable, means they would produce accurate results all the time, and they used a very little electricity. Now you have a question, just try yourself, what is a microprocessor, and just define it. Fifth generation of computers. Fifth generation of computers are modern day computers, like you can see, or you have seen, you have heard about artificial robots. So artificial robots are built on the basis of fifth generation of computers, where you talk to the computer and the computer performs that task. What is artificial intelligence? So you have to answer this question. The ability of a computer or computer controlled robot to perform tasks. Thank you so much for your time. Have a very good day. Bye.